For the first time in Kenya's history, we have 7 governors, 3 elected women senators, and 63 out of the 103 women parliamentarians in both houses are newly elected. That is an increased number of women in political leadership. For the nominated members, we also appreciate that your nomination is due to your demonstrated distinguished leadership. The steady increase in the number of women in all arms of government is the result of consistent and tireless efforts of our trailblazers who came before us. And these include Honorable Nyiva Mwendwa, Hon Phoebe Asio, Hon Beth Mugo, Hon Zipporah Kitoni, and late Honorable Wangari Maathai, among others, on whose shoulders we stand today. They have shown the way and left their mark in the annals of history. The stage is set for each and every one of us to write our individual and collective stories in advancing gender equality and women empowerment. The President is committed to the implementation of the 2/3 gender in appointive and elective positions in the public sector within his first year of administration. Your voices and energy are critical in enacting Article 27(8) of the Constitution of Kenya. That gives effect to the 2/3 gender principle. In addition, the ministry will be reaching out to engage with you for the enactment of the gender bill and the review of the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, Regulation 2016. We must demonstrate that gender-based violence and harmful cultural practices, such as female genital mutilation and child marriage, are not just violations of legal frameworks, but serious infringements of human rights and an obstacle to full realization of the potential for women, girls, men, and boys. Honorable members, you would lend the ministry invaluable support by making sure that the anti-FGM board program are allocated enough funds to facilitate implementation.
For the first time since Kenya's independence, the women of Kenya have a president that has the interest of women at heart. Aisha Juma will tell you the president stands with you women, and in most cases, he can be alone. But he needs all of us to stand with him so that he can actualize the plan that he has put in place in his administration. We all take note that within the president's plan, in the administration, he has put women at the center of the transformation agenda. Inasmuch as women stand at the intersection of many prejudices and aspects of discrimination, women likewise stand at the intersection of many solutions. It is important to note a country cannot progress economically, politically, or socially without half of its citizens participating meaningfully in political or socially without half of its citizens being recognized. The low proportional representation of women in political and governance structures should awaken us as women leaders. It is important to note that smart governments invest in their women. Kenya seems to be on the right trajectory. The ambassador has said we rank low But we'll get there, Ambassador. Personally, I envision a future where there will be no female leaders, there will be just leaders. More can and will be done in relation to actualizing the 2/3 gender rule, which is not only a constitutional imperative, but it's simply the right thing to do. We all must participate. We cannot talk about gender, women's rights issues without talking about our culture. Let us be honest with that. And it then takes a lot of work for us to try and change the mindset within our sphere of influence. Other conventional tools of social engineering can be deployed to change stereotypes and other biases that undermine women's political participation. Retrogressive societal norms and cultural values can be targeted under this scheme to ensure that we change the discussions around women in leadership.
We have increased the number of elected women in the single constituency members from 23 in 2017 to 29 in 2022, an increase of 26.08%. 15 out of those 23 members in the 12th Parliament retained their seats, and that is a good milestone for KEWOPA. 47 women members of National Assembly, that is 15 out of 47 in the 12th Parliament, retained their seats. 6 women nominated in the National Assembly and 18 women nominated senators, 16 women nominated in the Senate and 1 youth rep represented in the Senate and 1 woman representing people living with disabilities. At the devolved level, we have made a great milestone because we have had set a record of 7 elected women governors. Let us appreciate them. I am celebrating all of you and single out the 58 women members who are newly elected or nominated members of Parliament, 7 constituency MPs, 31 women reps, 6 nominated in the National Assembly, and 18 nominated in the Senate. The freshly, newly elected women, karibuni bunge. Women members in the 12th Parliament did a remarkable job in pushing for legislative agenda for women, resulting in key legislations, among many other contributions. The legacy of the hard-working women legislators who set up the bar so high in the previous Parliament is now entrusted to us, and the journey to accomplishing this starts today. In 12th Parliament, KEWOPA members in the National Assembly sponsored 31 bills, 72 motions, over 200 statements were put across, 78 petitions, and asked over 150 questions. And KEWOPA members in the Senate sponsored 59 bills, 152 motions, and made 200 statements and 100 petitions, and asked over 100 questions.